We'll now take you to the United Kingdom, where a black child was subjected by police to a strip search at her London school that involved exposure of intimate body parts, according to an official investigation which found racism was likely to have been an influencing factor in the officer's actions. No appropriate adult was present during the 15-year-old girl's ordeal, described by a senior local authority figure as humiliating, traumatizing and utterly shocking, and which took place without parental consent and in the knowledge that she was menstruating.
For more on this, we can cross live to London and join Arise correspondent Lape Olarinoye. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, Lape. This is such a disgusting and harrowing story. How did this revelation come about? And what do we know in terms of details about the story so far?
Good afternoon to you all. Well, like you said, it's absolutely harrowing and shocking that such a thing can be taking place in a school environment which is meant to be safe. Now, this happened last year, May, but the revelations are, of course, just coming now because there's been an investigation by the Independent Office Police Conduct that has been taking place as a result. Of course, the family of the young child, who is being referred to as Child Q, blew the whistle on this, and rightly so. Of course, happened in an environment where she was taking her exam. The teachers, which again, shocking, were said to have perceived the smell of cannabis and removed her from her exam while she was sitting that exam. And of course, at 15 years old, this is a key exam that she would have been sitting in her overall education. There usually happens to be a police officer on site across schools, and in that specific school, which is said to be in Hackney, but actually they went even further and called police from outside of the school, in the local police station, 2 female police officers to come and conduct a strip search. There are a few factors here. No teachers were in the room with her. Of course, all the safeguarding was thrown out of the window. Her parents weren't called. She wasn't offered any kind of support or care afterwards. And of course, as you described there, the incident was grueling. She was asked to completely take off all of her clothes. Even though she was menstruating, she was told to spread her butt cheeks as well as cough. I mean, it's harrowing, it's gruesome, and of course, it's extremely traumatic. Now, there is an element of race here, which has been brought up over and over again, particularly in that area, as there have been a whole list of about 25 strip searches that took place in the Hackney area, and 2 out of those 25 happen to be white people. So, of course, the element of race is very key, coupled with the numerous allegations of racism and misogyny that the Metropolitan Police have faced over the last couple of years.
Well, Lape, I wish I was speaking with you under different circumstances, but you mentioned racism in this case, and I would like you to focus more on that regarding the Met Police in this case. Can you tell us any more at this time?
Yes, I can. Of course, the Met Police have had scandals after scandals and riddled with allegations of racism, of course, misogyny, which both of those factors take place here. It's a black young female child who has been subjected to an extreme level of degradation, and I dare I say it, a level of sexual harassment, if you would like me to put it that way, because of course, if we compare the figures, as I've rightly pointed out there, this wouldn't normally happen in, for example, a private school, a majority white school as well. So the Met Police has had numerous allegations of not just strip searches, but stop and searches which have been more prevalent within black communities towards black males, and of course those have come to light, and we saw the recent resignation of Dame Cressida Dick because of all these allegations coming to light. But actually, it goes even further than just race. It goes to race and gender, because we've seen that happen. But it seems as though the Met Police only take action, or there's any action taken when it's a white, high-profile case, like in the case of Sarah Everard, which is why all of these allegations have come to light. There's also been a case of a young lady called Blessing who was said to have died at a beach, and there was no kind of proper care taken by the family liaison officers as well, including Charing Cross WhatsApp messages where there were allegations of racism, misogyny, and homophobia as well. So the Met Police has been having so many scandals whereby there's been, indications of all of these themes that I've just expressed there. And yet again, we're seeing it again, but even worse in a school environment where children are meant to feel safe. But clearly, child Q wasn't perceived as a child at all.
So could this be the nail in the coffin for the British police? What has been the response so far?
Well, as you can imagine, the response has been, it's been shocking. Many people have come out to express their anger, how horrified they are at it. But if we look at, the policymakers and the people who are at the center of this, it's only within the last 24 hours have we seen that there has now been an official investigation opened against those police officers. There has also been, a half-baked apology that we tend to always get when stories like this come up from the Met Police as well. But it's not enough. I mean, MPs like Diane Abbott have also expressed her sheer anger and the fact that this is purely a race issue. There seems to be no focus on the fact that there has been a huge focus on race here. The investigation is said to have a result in the next couple of months, but they're saying 6 to 9 months, which in my opinion, I think is far too long. Then also there isn't that much of a focus on the role that the teachers are playing in this. Mm-hmm. None of the teachers who were the ones who made that phone call to the police have been apprehended. None of them have been brought to book or none of them have been questioned about this. Actually, they're still in their roles. The response, of course, from the family is really upsetting. They are saying that the young girl who was a happy-go-lucky, top of the class, is now a shadow of her former self and is requiring therapy because she's now self-harming. Because so the effects are dire. The response is still, half-baked. We need proper response and proper legislation into the way in which children are stop and searched, and even worse, strip searched, and what the processes are regarding that. And so, of course, the responses are still being met so far, but if you'll ask me, it's not enough.
Arise News correspondent Lape Olarinoye, thank you so much for joining us and giving us your insight on this topic.